debut, it's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch.
Angel Reese stepped into the spotlight as if a red carpet awaited her arrival, only to find it had long been rolled up and shelved alongside the remnants of a misfired marketing plan. What's most striking is that she truly seemed to believe she could replicate the effortless magic Caitlin Clark commands, not by matching her talent or appeal, but merely by standing close enough to catch the reflection of her shine.
For no piece, at least when it comes to the WNBA space, it was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game was meant to be Angel Reese's big moment. Everything was orchestrated. Her Reebok signature shoe debut, the bold rollout of her I'm in Your City campaign right in Caitlin Clark's hometown of Indianapolis, and the anticipation of soaring viewership and sales. But instead of a victory lap, she got a hard lesson in the limits of hype. Star power can't be manufactured, and building your brand on the back of someone else's spotlight is a gamble that rarely pays off.
Angel, me bound, prayer, Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't none to be.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Angel Reese's signature shoe with Reebok. The Angel Reese 1, released in two colorways, Diamond Dust and Maybounds, was hyped as the next big thing in women's basketball sneakers. Reebok, alongside Reese, went all in, aligning the Maybounds launch with the All-Star Game for what was supposed to be a major moment. The problem? All that exposure hit at exactly the wrong time, when the spotlight was brightest on someone else.
It's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most.
Reese built her entire marketing play around one critical miscalculation, that Caitlin Clark's presence at the All-Star Game would automatically drive massive viewership, and by extension, sneaker sales. She wasn't aiming to outshine Clark or craft a story of her own. Instead, she bet on proximity, just being in the same building when Clark was expected to dominate. It was less about rising to the moment and more about hoping the spotlight would spill over.
There is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from it.
And here's where the irony gets delicious. Just days before the All-Star Game, Clark went down with a groin injury. The league's biggest draw, the one player who could turn a random Tuesday night game in Wisconsin into must-see TV, was suddenly sidelined, stuck on the bench in street clothes. The engine behind Reese's marketing momentum was now out of the game, and with it went the attention she was counting on.
This All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only can draw that. So, and this is
If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe, because the numbers don't lie and they're telling a story harsher than any scripted drama. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, headlined by Caitlin Clark, pulled in a staggering 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a game, it was a cultural moment, appointment television that spilled over into mainstream conversation. Now, fast forward to 2025. With Clark sidelined, viewership crashed to 2.19 million, a brutal 36% drop. But here's the real kicker. That wasn't just any 36%. That was in Clark's own hometown at an event tailor-made to ride her star power. Without her on the court, the entire show dimmed.
WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up and you need to have a talk with your players.
Angel Reese watched her marketing strategy unravel in real time. The tickets, once expected to be red hot, plummeted 48% in value the moment Caitlin Clark was ruled out, dropping from 121 to just 64. Not even the secondary market could salvage the hype. Fans weren't willing to pay premium prices for an all-star game without the league's biggest attraction. But nothing captured the misfire of Reese's strategy quite like her I Am in Your City campaign. A bold, almost surreal attempt at a territorial takeover in Indianapolis, Clark's hometown, launched while Clark was injured and couldn't even step on the court. The tone deafness was stunning.
All stars, all the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here, and look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin...
The campaign pulled out all the stops: billboards, aggressive social media pushes, and messaging that screamed territorial dominance. Reese posted Instagram videos with the caption, "I'm in your city," paired with promo content titled, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap." But here's the problem. When you're trying to take over someone's city and that someone isn't even on the court to defend it, it doesn't look bold. It looks opportunistic. And fans weren't fooled. Social media lit up with criticism. One user tweeted, "She can't even promote her own shoe without using Caitlin Clark," while another quipped, "There are more photographers than fans, LOL." The whole campaign came off as a hollow flex, like showing up to a race after your rival pulled a hamstring and then bragging about the win as if it were earned.
Me bounce, rebounds, you be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me?
Let's put it in perspective. Angel Reese had everything lined up that weekend. She was in Indianapolis claiming a city takeover. Her signature shoe was dropping. Billboards were up, social media was buzzing, and the All-Star Game was being played in what she dubbed her city. And yet, nobody cared. The buzz didn't land, the energy didn't translate, and the spotlight never really found her. The WNBA tried to put a positive spin on the numbers, comparing 2025's viewership to 2023's modest 850,000. But that conveniently skipped over the Clark-fueled 2024 record. Fans saw through the PR move. The message was clear. Without Caitlin Clark, the league had snapped back to pre-phenomenon levels of interest. Even more telling, Friday night's three-point contest and skills challenge pulled 1.32 million viewers, a 90% jump from the previous year. But let's be honest, that spike had nothing to do with Reese or anyone else on the court. It was still the Caitlin Clark effect in motion. Fans were tuning in, hoping for even a glimpse of the superstar who'd redefine the WNBA's relevance.
A shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly.
Angel Reese's biggest misstep wasn't just poor timing. It was a fundamental misunderstanding of what truly drives consumer passion. Watching Caitlin Clark's shoe deals, Reese thought, I can do that too. She saw Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro sneakers sell out in minutes, with resales hitting $600 for a $190 shoe, and expected the same frenzy for her own. But what she overlooked is this. Clark's shoes don't fly off shelves simply because they bear her name. They sell because Clark has built an authentic bond with fans through her on-court brilliance, genuine personality, and real connection. When Clark signed her 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, it wasn't just a paycheck, it was a signal that the brand recognized a rare talent who could truly shift the market. Industry experts predict Clark's signature shoe launch in 2026 could blossom into a $100 to $150 million enterprise. This isn't empty hype, it's backed by years of sold-out arenas, record-breaking ratings, and deeply engaged fans. Now, compare that to Angel Reese's All-Star Weekend shoe launch, met with silence. The Angel Reese 1 debuted to a largely indifferent audience, supported by a marketing push that felt more desperate than confident.